Hey, hey, hey! We have got a very cool knife that I actually wanted to check out for a little while that my buddy Alex from the Knifebox channel lent me. So let's just dive right into it. This is the Wingman EDC, the MDD-K model. Okay, comes in a cool box, magnetic closure, has some paperwork in here. But they also include a dog tag with some information about it, which is very cool. Always like to have, kind of a commemorative little thing there, and it fits right into this, cutout foam deal. Just very cool. I mean, again, I've talked about this at length about packaging is important. Okay, and I strongly believe that. The higher the price the knife, the way it turns out, and I'll link to, if I remember, my Is Packaging Important video, where I talked about this at length. So, like the more expensive knives you get, the $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 knives, generally have crappy packaging. Like they come in maybe a zippered pouch, maybe just a Ziploc bag. It's kind of weird. It's very odd to me. And then some of your lower price knives. So this is like a $500-ish knife, and they have several different versions, and we'll talk about that. And they range in the $400 to $500 range. Okay, comes in a pretty nice package. Some of the Todd Begg stuff that I have, and the Begg knife stuff, in that $1,500 to $2,800 range, comes in a nice package. And then some of your $50 knives comes in nice packages. So it's all over the place, but I think packaging is important. But go watch my other video, and that'll tell you really what I feel. So let's dive into this guy. Let's just bust through the specs really quick. It's 4 inches closed, 7 1/4 overall, 3.24 inch blade with a 3-inch cutting edge. The blade steel is M390. It is 0.157 blade thickness, 0.503 overall minus the clip, 3.4 ounces, and runs on ceramic bearings. Okay? It's a very cool knife. It's a Tom Mayo design, and it utilizes the Lee Williams kickstop flipper. That is the true interesting thing about this knife. Okay? Everything else is just really cool. Okay? Nice flipper tab, just blasted titanium with some speed holes and lightning, for weight reduction and aesthetics. Very nice pocket clip that's done really well. A lanyard pin, so you have plenty of room there to put a lanyard if you're into lanyards, or if you're like me and you're not into lanyards, doesn't matter. It's very cool. I like a pin because that's not a hole that I'm never going to use. So I prefer this type of a lanyard attachment because I don't use lanyards. So, but then we've got this hidden flipper tab. Okay, what do you mean hidden? Well, where to go? Normally it'd be out here, kind of acting as a gourd, right? No, it's still right there because it's not actually attached to the blade. It's on a little pivot. It's very, very cool. So it gets it going, and then it just falls into place, and it stays there as the blade is open. So now it's locked into position, right? Because the blade is up against it, so it can't open or pop out until the blade is retracted. And as the blade goes, so right now it'll come out, it'll fall out, right? Or as the blade closes, it starts to engage the flipper tab, and then there you go. Now it's not going to move at all. Okay? Tiniest bit of play. I think that's freaking cool. Okay, let's look at the blade. This is a hand rub satin. which is done really nice. A really nice false edge on the top swedge. Nice hand satin. You could see all those brush lines. It's just, that's a lot of work, guys. I mean, it really is. And that does add to the price. So this one comes in at like $490 on their website right now. And the standard machine satin one is like $400. So you're paying a premium for that hand rub satin, but it looks just so awesome. Now they also have a variation that's the one I would pick if I were going to buy one of these, and I think it is a very cool knife. That is their stealth model. So it's a dark acid etched blade with a stone-washed PVD coating. Looks killer. It looks all worn in and just like it's 100 years old. I mean, it looks killer. That's the one I would pick. So if you're thinking about like an early Christmas present for me, that's the one. I'm just saying. Okay? One thing I really do like about this is it's chamfered all along this lock bar cutout. Okay? And I talk about that sometimes. I don't really bring it up that often anymore. But you cannot, I mean, this is super smooth. It's great. Now, let me grab something over here and see if this one, I don't remember if this one is also sort of chamfered, but not really. This is not super hard edge, but it is a harder edge. And that's the only other frame lock that I have in reach right now. But like 90%, I'm going to say, of your frame locks, they just do this cutout and they leave this kind of sharp, harsh edge. You're not going to cut yourself on it, but, and really in daily use, it's not really uncomfortable. On some knives, yes, I have had it be uncomfortable when you grip it here, but generally speaking, it's not a big deal. It's really a nitpicking item. But to me, that just shows a whole nother level of detail, that you're just going to knock down that edge and make it so that it's very comfortable. Okay, so this does have a steel lock bar insert. It is titanium frame, and the lock bar insert also acts as a lock bar stabilizer or an over travel stop, so you cannot unspring the knife. I think this is a very cool knife. I think that flipper tab just is sleek. You know, it's just that attention to detail, that the flipper tab disappears, that it's chamfered in the lock bar. There's nice, you know, kind of the grind lines on this top swedge, gives you pretty good strength at the tip, and it just runs great. Ceramic bearings and all of that stuff, it just makes for a really nice knife. Now, again, a nitpick, but just part of the mechanism of the flipper tab. As you're closing it, there is a little bit of noise that you're not going to hear on the mic, I'm sure. But I can hear there's a little bit of a rattle, for lack of better words, because the blade is engaging the flipper tab, and the flipper tab kind of, as you shake it, I think the flipper tab kind of moves, and so you can hear that. Okay? Not a big deal, other than the fact that I just cut myself trying to close the blade.
Overall, it will cut.
That was fun. Okay, so let's do a couple of quick size comparisons. Oh boy. Okay, it's a live TV again, guys. Wow. That's fun. Here it is next to the Sharpie. The Delica. And we'll just close it out with the Hellraiser so that I can go and attend to my wounds. So it's not even my knife and it bit me.
The most important thing about this whole thing is it will kill.
It bit me pretty good, actually. So there you go, guys. The Wingman EDC. I will keep my bloody finger out of the way here. And I think it's a very cool knife. So thank you, Alex, for lending this in. I will put a link to Alex's channel down below, so go check him out. And we will see you all on the next one. Thanks, guys.